let him that had an understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man. And his number is 666. And
yep, we're going to that word.
Chi-side stigma.
Chi-side stigma, man. Going to that word stigma. First the root. Yep.
Yep. And like I said, we said earlier, stigma. It's a mark pricked in or a brand upon the body. To ancient, or I want to say Oriental, usage of slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master.
Yep.
Right?
So by you receiving that microchip, mark of the beast, that's you saying the so-called white man, you're my father, you're my God. I want to serve you. All right, that's what you're saying to him, man. Yeah. All right.
Just like we always bring out the law and when you get bored with that all, through the ear for if you love your master and you don't want to leave the house and you want to serve him for the rest of your life, he will bore you through the ear with an all, and that would indicate that you belong to him. He's your master, right? He's your master, he's your Lord, and you're his servant. So if you get that chip, hey, this beast is your master. And pretty much anything coming from the World Economic Forum, the UN, all them different entities, you got to comply with it. Like that's pretty much your instructions. Those are your statutes. Anything coming from the beast, this system, that's pretty much the commandments that you got to keep.
Right.
That's going to be your religion.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. It says or commander, branch, or prick, right? Cut. It says into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to.
Yep.
Right? It says two and there were even some devotees whom stamped themselves. Yep.
And you got people giving themselves the MOTB, man. They at these conventions, or they'll even have it to where you can buy your own kit. And you program it yourself. Yeah.
They got a home kit. You can buy it online.
Yep.
I also go to some of these tattoo shops. They get into biohacking too.
And it makes sense perfectly. That shows you. And this is not a heavy prophecy to understand, man. It's very simple.
It's heavy, but it's not difficult.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
It's simple, but it's very important. Really, it's a dire warning. You should, like all prophets of the Lord, should know what it is and should be always constantly talking about it. No different than when Noah was on the scene. He prophesied about rain for over 100 years. They got tired of hearing that, but then what happened? It rained. So that's why the apostles and brothers and bishops, all the brothers all across the board, constantly giving you updates going into it. And you might get annoyed that brothers is going into it too much. They'll get mad and start calling you, y'all a bunch of conspiracy theorists. Y'all some Alex Jones prophets, or whatever the case may be. Like, you're gonna know when it finally happens. Like it says in Ezekiel 33, then shall it be known. Right?
I'm gonna say, like we always bring out Revelations 12 and 12. That's a scripture that constantly comes out every other lesson that brothers do. But eventually,
he about to come down.
Oh shit! Y'all wasn't playing. He's coming down with great wrath.
We ain't seen that wrath yet.
No.
All right. It says, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods.
Yeah, I got this word devotee, right? And it says one who is self-dedicated to a cause or practice. And then when you go into the word devote, it says appropriate by or as if by a vow, right? To sacrifice oneself or promise solemnly, right? It says apply zealously or exclusively from 1640s as apply To doom, cosign to some harm or evil.
And see, that's pretty much a way of worship. When you devote yourself to something, you're pretty much you're vowing a vow. You're making a promise to something that's very dear to you, that's very valuable to you. It has importance. It have power. All right. Because one of the definitions you read, it said what to sacrifice, right?
Yep, to sacrifice oneself.
To sacrifice yourself. What are we sacrificing ourselves for?
Right.
What does it say in Romans 12? We present your bodies as a living sacrifice, because we're priests to the Most High. But if you in this man's system, and you giving all your energy and servitude to him, and you willing to even use your body to serve this devil by allowing him to biohack you, put a device in your body, and it's supposed to be the temple of the Lord. Hey, come on, man. That's betrayal. You allowing another entity to be your God. Now you devoted to serving the beast and not the Most High.
Yep.
I got a precept, Revelation 14. All right, so if any one of y'all take the mark of the beast, this is the y'all gonna feel fire, man. About thermonuclear missiles. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the image, so I can worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Hey, what's crazy is one of the other definitions you read was to be doomed, right?
Yep.
To be doomed or cursed. When it says in Isaiah 34 about how the Idumeans, they will be cursed to his judgment, because the lake of fire is going to be the judgment of Esau. But Babylon is basically going to be, because Esau, he rules and controls Babylon. He's basically like the king of Babylon. So when America gets destroyed by thermonuclear fire, ultimately Edom is getting destroyed by thermonuclear fire. So if you vow to serve this man in his system, you're going to be partakers of that same curse. You're going to be doomed unto the same final destruction that he's going to face. Because you pretty much pertain to Esau, Edom at that point.
Yeah, that's an allegiance.
Yeah.
Just like
join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Kind. Just like Lot's wife. Exactly. She was a citizen of Sodom and Gomorrah in every sense of it, and so she received the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Exactly.
Yep. So verse
in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. The other one, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. Basically, if you be led by this place, you get the same judgment. There's another one, I can't think of the wording, but we pretty much hit the point on it though. Y'all, where y'all at right now?
verse 11.
In verse 11 and what?
Revelation 14.
Oh, you got it.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here's the patience of the saints. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shah. You can bring out Revelation 16. Yeah, verse 2.
In Revelation 16 and 2, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon them, the man which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
It's cold. Yeah, that noisome, noisome, grievous sore basically gets in the camp. You put that foreign object inside of you, you gonna get, you know, cancer. You have a cancerous body after that. You know, just like, you know, you people that got that jab in 2020, 2021. You know, you see all the repercussions that, you know, had on the body of you people that took it. People got strokes, you know, heart palpitations, heart attacks. You know,
same, because your body fights off. You know, if you gotta have the same blood type to even get a transplant, but even that still don't just naturally assimilate to your body. So that's why people that take in cow knees and pork, pig hearts, trying to do the implant transplants, that they don't last, because it's not meant to be. It's not of the same flesh. It's not meant to be that way. What you get is what you're supposed to have, and when it's taken away, that's to be the end of you, really. This man trying to go above the Most High and keep people alive and do all this extra stuff. It's not. It's something fighting. It's foreign to your body that they're trying to put in you to make it continue to work. And this chick was no different.
Really, they're trying to compass like the order of how a body runs. Ultimately, it's the spirit that the Lord Yahweh puts into a body that gives it that energy. And Esau wants that basically that MOTB in there to become that battery. You know? So
yeah. Talk about how they're trying to aim for or people in general to achieve artificial immortality. You're not in control of the spirit, man. That's what he's trying to do with his technology. He wants to be able to control your spirit. That's when you try to step into that territory, you're playing a very dangerous game.
Satan coming in on the left hand side.
Yeah, because now you're trying to challenge the father of spirits. Your spirit. And the Lord will show you how he can make it very easy, man. You know, because you can try to kill someone, and the Lord can actually keep that person alive. Because unto him belong the issues from death. You don't do a damn thing. You know, the Lord can take your life instantly if he wants to, or he can keep your spirit in your body regardless of what happens to you. You don't have that control. Your technology can't do a damn thing, man. You know?
I got another scripture.
Revelation 16:13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Yep, so that's basically Esau's system, man. He got 3 city-states set up in the world. You know, Rome, you know, with the Vatican, you know, which basically that's the false prophet. You know, to push out the religious, you know, aspect on the planet Earth.
Roman Catholic Church heads over there.
Yep.
Pope just got in over there again.
He's gonna push the New World Order for sure. He's gonna push whatever is coming from out of the World Economic Forum. He's gonna co-sign that, put his stamp on it of approval, and then the church is gonna pick it up. You know.
You got another city-state, which is London, that's set up to handle all the finances of the beast system.
Yep.
You know, the top Edomites use London to set up, you know, the finance. They got the supercomputers to handle all the finances. You know,
And they got a supercomputer in Europe somewhere called the Beast.
And you got another city-state set up here in the United States, which is Washington D.C., and that handles all the military, the military force of the planet Earth. You know, the beast system. You know, so the elites they use those 3 entities, you know, to bring forth their new world order. You know, and under the Catholic Church, you got Islam, and you got these daughter churches, you know, Baptist, you know, Pentecostal, you know, Mormonism. They all gonna push that chip, man. You know. So those 3 unclean frogs, spirits like frogs, man. All right, just that whole system. Okay.
Revelation 16:14. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles.
Working miracles, man.
which go forth unto the kings of the earth.
A lot of the reasons why these other religions couldn't break this down, because they didn't understand the technology. And now the technology speaking, bringing these scriptures to life now.
Right.
You got it out.
Yeah, plus they didn't have the scriptures talk about in Daniel how in the last days knowledge shall be increased. So they didn't have that back then to understand. You know, plus we have access to the mysteries of the scriptures through the Holy Spirit, and it's not given to many.
Which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty.
And and I like how I've said that. It says, given unto the kings of the earth, the real rulers of the earth, which are us out there teaching and believing. All right, that we will gather them by the word. Okay, breaking it down the right way, making it plain to understand these prophecies. It says what did it say? It says gathering them to the battle of the great day, meaning that you stand on the right side of history for righteousness' sake, that you're not on the side of the beast. Okay, that's the important part. All right.
Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walks naked and they see his shame.
And what does that garment represent? What is the garment?
Garment is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh.
Huh. That way what? That way you understand. You know? You want to stay girded with this understanding. So when these times come, you're not going to be thrown off. It's not going to catch you like a thief. You know?
Oh, I know
you want to be, yeah, man. Blessed is he that readeth and keep up the words of this saying. You know? That's what it said in the beginning of the book. Blessed is he that readeth and keepeth the saying of the prophecies of this book. If you don't know it, then hey, you're missing something. You're not covered. All right.
Revelation 16 and 16. And he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Yeah, the war of Armageddon, which is what we're getting ready to see. You know, if you paying attention to the world stage, the theaters of war on this world stage, you can see that the Lord is mustering the host of the battle. You know, every day you're hearing about the deployment of this amount of troops to this border. You're seeing them deploying these missile systems over to this country. You're seeing them doing joint drills over here in this sea over here. You're seeing this nation over here, yeah, we're gonna send anti-missile defenses. Oh, now you're hearing about Trump. Yeah, we finna set up a golden dome.
Yeah, kind of spirit.
Because they knowing that that's the next thing. It's gonna be a global conflict. All right, involving all the troops of all these different nations.
Hey,
all right, that's the war of Armageddon.
You heard what China said, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, they don't want Babylon to build that golden dome.
God.
It's gonna start a nuclear arms race. But basically, golden domes is missiles that intercept other missiles.
God.
That's what that's what.
Like with the Israeli, the Iron Dome.
Yeah.
Yep.
That they got over there.
Yeah, the
you know?
Golden Dome is supposed to be more advanced, quote unquote, to where it covers the whole states, the whole United States,
Yeah.
almost in like an electrical grid pattern, you know, a lattice structure that any missile, you know, going into the heavens, you know, will be intercepted. Which even if Esau built it, that don't mean shit, man, because the scriptures clearly tell you that this place, must taste of that second death, man, that thermonuclear destruction.
Yep, nuclear arms race is happening, man.
Yeah.
That's what you read in Revelation 9. So it said 200,000 horsemen, which are the missiles. Which is 200 million missiles, man.
Yeah.
Now you can see like the nuclear arms race. And also yeah.
Joel 3.
Yeah, Joel.
3 and 9.
So all you got to do is have the, the patent on how to make a missile. You can just pop out missiles every day, man. 20, 30 missiles, nuclear missiles a day.
Yeah, every other week they're doing test launches, testing out their ICBMs, testing out the accuracy, because they're really preparing themselves. They know what's getting ready to happen, man. They already know what time it is. All right, give me Joel 2. If somebody can get it in the NLT. Joel, the 2nd chapter in the NLT.
Yeah, this is Joel 2.
Because the defenses, the missile defenses are not going to mean nothing on that day.
Nothing.
Because guess what? The Most High is going to control those missiles. He's going to guide them. Yep. The missiles are really the Most High. Those are his weapons. The weapons of his indignation. So there ain't nothing you can do. You can waste all this money putting billions of dollars into this defense system, a golden dome, but it's to no avail.
It's Jeremiah 50:25, and it reads, "The Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
Yep.
For this is the work of the Lord power Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans."
That's the work of the Lord, man.
Chaldeans, Babylon, America.
Yep.
I gotta read this next verse. It says, "Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left."
Man. Hey, and what's funny, because the Most High, he gonna make sure it gets done. He gonna make sure that his work that he's gonna work is gonna be done without hindrance, without any
interference.
Yeah, without interference. For years, during the nuclear arms race since the Cold War, you've always had these encounters where they would try to shoot these nukes, and they would actually lose them in translation, because there would be so-called UFO activities where they would actually intercept missiles.
Knock them down.
They would knock them down. They would knock them out of the system, out of the radar.
They would disable their systems.
They would disable them.
Yeah.
They would come to their nuclear sites and pretty much shut off their nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
Then they say Gaddafi shot one.
Yeah.
And I guess the chariot knocked that shit down. It ain't the time.
Right. And hey, what comes to mind? Revelation 7. Revelation 7. So that's why the missiles didn't get the nuclear war didn't happen right after the Cold War. The Lord had to basically guide everything and make sure that it didn't pop off back then, because the elect wasn't sealed yet.
And the Lord had to build up these nations' artillery. They didn't have as many ICBMs as they did back then as they do now.
Right.
Russia didn't have as many. Of course, Iran and China. These nations had to build an artillery up to, and the allies, NATO and the EU had to build up theirs so that
it's a real dramatic war.
to build up that 200 million number.
Thousand.
Yeah.
And it's important that when you see this coming together, that the time has to be when the time is. That's how we're able to measure the time for what it is now and can see it so clear.
Yep.
It's really good, man.
This Jeremiah.
Get a quick one.
In 2 Ezra 16:13, for strong in his right hand that bendeth the bow,
Says the Most High.
his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begin to shoot into the ends of the world.
You got it. You can't shoot an arrow from the African continent or from the Russian continent, Asia continent or whatever to America. It don't reach. But these nukes can. And now that the technology, also I was going to say a moment ago, and now that the technology, back then in the Cold War, they had atom bombs, then they upgraded to the hydrogen bomb. Now they're at nuke status. If somebody could real quick Just Google. And that's the speed of it.
Yeah.
Somebody check out how many nukes. No, I mean how many atom bombs equal a nuclear bomb. And it'll show you the power difference.
Yeah. You gotta count the TNT.
Yeah. And then, like I've seen it before, but I don't remember it offhand. But it's a lot. It's a big difference.
Well, you can even see they show a chart online the smoke cloud.
Yeah.
And the atom bomb is like at the bottom, and then you have.
They blow up 2 casinos with an atom bomb. You drop a nuke, the strip is gone, and most of this. Okay, just one, like gone, like ashes.
Yeah, take out the whole city.
Yeah. You got it?
It says atom bomb versus nuclear bomb. It says atom bomb specifically refers to a bomb that uses nuclear fission or the splitting atoms of uranium-235 or plutonium-239, which Iran is basically yeah, their percentage has just increased after the INF deal fell down. So now I believe it increased to like 37 or something percent, right?
Yeah, I believe Babylon, the United States and Iran supposed to be going over some treaty deal or some shit, but that fell through.
Yep.
You know, recently.
Okay. It says nuclear bomb. Oh, example of it's like an atom bomb. Is Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Fat Man and Little Boy in 1945. Now it says a nuclear bomb is a fission bomb as well as an atom bomb, right? But it says it includes hydrogen or thermonuclear bombs, which are vastly more powerful. These use fission to trigger a fusion reaction, joining hydrogen isotopes like deuterium and
We skipped
tritium.
over the hydrogen bomb because they figured that technology out from the atom bomb that splits the atoms. Then they went to the hydrogen bomb, which I believe splits the atoms. Then it starts a small reaction that goes into adds hydrogen to it that intensifies it. But now it's a reaction of like they keep multiplying how that science works for more and more destruction.
Yeah, the sword is getting sharper.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Cause deeper and deeper, more and more.
And once you got that patent down, man, you can fucking and put it in the robot. You fucking build that shit, man.
Yep.
That's how it's done.
24 hours a day. Big ass warehouse building nuclear missiles, bro.
That's right. It's a little bit more on it. It says here, it says the Hiroshima atom bomb has a yield of 15 kilotons of TNT.
Yeah, see,
There you go. It's time to get the
one thing that's going on right now is the Israeli government. They're saying that at any moment they could try to attack Iran's nuclear facility.
Yeah.
They really want to bomb all their nuclear facilities. Trump, he basically said, "I'm not with y'all if y'all do that," because he know exactly what it's going to escalate to. It's going to be a real problem if they do that.
If you listen to the prophecies, you'll know that equals the destruction of where you rule.
Exactly. You know, so that's what they've been talking about. And this dude Netanyahu, that war criminal, he's so spaced out. He's willing to do whatever. He's bloodthirsty. He really wants it. He's even mad at their European allies because they're not helping them with Gaza. You know.
I was thinking on the way here, he posted that article. I mean, we were talking about how these countries. He said he posted how these countries are not want to be confederate with what's going on in Israel and Gaza. So Israel it ain't far fetched for them to do this, cause an attack on their own people. To get sympathy from these nations that kind of turn their back or distance themselves from them, so they can, start to back them on this.
That's
the
exactly
Gaza
what they'll
extinction,
do. That's exactly what they'll do.
Like, we got attacked from, and they'll kill. They're willing to take out some of their people just to get these nations back on board with them.
Yeah, a false flag.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're back. It says 1 megaton hydrogen bomb. Hiroshima bomb it has a yield of 15 kilotons of TNT. A modern thermonuclear bomb can have a yield of several megatons. It says 1 megaton equals 1,000 kilotons. So
We're just going over. A ton is 2,000 pounds. So 1,000 of them bitches
Yes.
dropping on the nigga head. That's 2 million
One
pounds.
megaton for the atom.
One megaton.
No,
One
no,
megatons for the atom.
15 kilotons for the Hiroshima.
Killer. Now we know
Killer 1,000.
1,000. Mega, I think, is what? Like 10,000 or something.
Yeah, 1 megaton is 1,000 kilotons. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's 100 million. I mean 100,000.
Yep.
Times 1.
Right.
Times how many more?
15. No, it's like the modern nuclear bomb can have a yield of several megatons, and 1 megaton is equal to that 1,000
Several
kilotons.
megatons.
And they're supposed to be 200 million
Yeah.
of that.
And then that's the next number I was going. Damn, bro, overkill.
Yeah, it is.
But a point has to be made. The point has to be made. Now, do you understand? It's the Heavenly Father that don't want this man in power no more. That the rest of the world will never cause there's still war after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The fat boy and little kid, right?
Little man.
Little man, I mean, right? So it's like with this type of power, there's never gonna be a question that we should ever try to come up against this. And then the people that come down out of the ships that were rescued gonna have angelic power. You're never gonna want to challenge these people ever again.
And Most High gonna make the last statement with this judgment.
It's gonna be the
All
last
of
of
humanity
war.
on earth, they're gonna recognize, man. You know, it's gonna be his final statement and his judgment.
Yep. Second death.
Second death.
That's not including your whole shining angels that's coming back shooting lasers on people.
All right.
Hey, and
That's
don't forget about
gonna cause mass damage.
don't forget about Leviathan. We always talk about the missiles and Yahweh Shai. You got to worry about a sea monster.
Yeah.
You know that's gonna come up.
Or few.
Few. It's gonna come out and start jacking shit up.
Yeah.
Bro, tsunami waves.
Tsunami
Yeah.
waves, yeah.
Like thousands of feet high.
Forgetting about earthquakes and all the other damage happening in the earth, man.
Yep.
Heavenly Father's not playing. Y'all got it.
It says 1 megaton hydrogen bomb equals about 66 Hiroshima atom bombs, but a 10 megaton nuclear bomb is about 660 atom bombs. So yeah.
That's
So
a
you
call
going
of
back
the
to
Lord,
now, I
man.
think.
Hey, don't play with your house by some outside, man.
Yep. So you see, just based on that, that's why the prophecy described the impact of this judgment. It's gonna cause the whole earth to shake to and fro. It's gonna shake the whole entire planet, man. You know? You get that in Joel?
Oh, that's gonna cause tidal waves.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. It's Joel 2 and 3 in the NLT. And it reads, "Fire burns in front of them and flames follow after them. Ahead of them the land lies as beautiful as the Garden of Eden. Behind them is nothing but desolation."
Yep.
It says, "Not one thing escapes. They look like horses. They charge forward like war horses."
Because how do you describe a stampede array going charging towards something? Hey, the last thing you want to do is be in front of a stampede of horses, man. Be standing there, it's gonna run through whatever's in front of you. So how much more of these things? He didn't know another way to describe it.
You described them as war horses.
Yep.
Today we know them as war heads. Right?
Just like your car got horsepower, it's rated in horsepower.
Yep.
I mean, speed. They don't actually look like a horse, but it's rated in power and speed, and
I'll take
horsepower.
that water regardless.
So the horsepower of these missiles, man, these missiles fly. I don't know how they fly. The hypersonic, man, you got to be thousands upon thousands of miles per hour.
Yeah. They go up in the atmosphere, and then they come back down. So they coming with it's coming down faster than it went up. Just gravity.
This verse 5. "Look at them as they leap along the mountaintops. Listen to the noise they make, like the rumbling of chariots, like the roar of fire sweeping
That's the other chariots we were talking about. That's the, it's different because everybody walking on foot and maybe with horses, but when you have a chariot attached, meaning the vehicle that horses pull, not the vehicles of the heavens. Okay, just the differences because we were talking about that before.
Yep. Like the rumbling of chariots, like the roar of fire sweeping across a field of stubble, or like a mighty army moving into battle.
Yeah, good picture. I just telling the brothers, man, that new Mission Impossible has a scene in there where all the nuclear missiles being shot off. You know, and hearing that shit and like ultimate sound, man, that's just terrifying. Man. You know?
Always some pestilence.
Yeah, exactly.
Since fear grips all the people, every face grows pale with terror.
like that time in Hawaii.
Yeah.
The people was shitting themselves, man.
Yeah, people going into the sewer and shit.
Yeah.
Because that siren went off, and they said this is not a test. Everyone started receiving them alerts on their phone.
The alarm was
going off on their phone, and not a test, not a test. Shit.
People was horrified, bro.
Wasn't they going under earth or something?
It was going under
Trying
the
to go in the
sewers
sewers
and
and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
And brother, Yahweh, he was getting a lot of people watching his channel.
He had like 3,000 or 4,000
He
people.
had thousands
on
of people on his live, man.
Yeah.
Right, and it's continuing. It says,
And it's like that one movie that came out in I believe it was in the 80s.
Oh, the day after.
Was it
I
that?
think that was a TV movie, but it was.
Yeah. And the missiles was coming, and everybody was.
Day after 84.
Everybody, yeah, exactly. Everybody getting out their vehicles because everything stopped. They, running, taking off and shit. And people trying to find places to hide for shelter. Where the fuck was they think they was going?
Running up to the mountain.
Yeah.
You know what there for?
Yeah, man. You ain't gonna have nowhere to go, and you ain't gonna have no time.
Yeah, that movie was fantasy.
It was fantasy, yeah.
People lived after it. Like, we living after it.
Yeah, right.
How about Americans?
Yeah.
this is verse 7. The attackers march like warriors.
You can't treat a nuclear war like a fire drill. You're not gonna stop, drop, and roll when you got nuclear warheads detonating over your skies. All right, you're not hiding under no table. All right, and there's definitely no shelter place for you. The elites now they're been building up shelters because they already know that nuclear war is gonna happen.
Yep.
So they figure they got a place where, hey, we won't be a part of that. We'll be down there with our gold and our wine and
kids.
we got our little traffic little, yeah.
That are army.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
The attackers march like warriors and scale city walls like soldiers. Straight forward they march, never breaking rank. They never jostle each other. Each moves in exactly the right position. They break through defenses.
Ooh.
Golden Dome.
Yeah, there it is.
The hell, hey, it's a waste of money. Trump is he's finna make y'all he's finna suck y'all even more dry economically, putting money into a project that's not gonna it's not gonna profit them. It's not gonna protect them.
Say 500 billion.
500
Times
billion.
that about 3, man.
Oh yeah.
He said 500. He said
500 billion.
500 billion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
150 with true.
And they're gonna. It's going to. It may have some type of false attack to make people want it. They go, we don't need this until this is a alert and everyone. China may do this and it's a mass similar to what happened in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Say that happens on the mainland, everyone gets an alert. Then people are going to be for the what is it called the
Golden Dome.
The Golden Dome. Like man, maybe we need to invest in this.
We don't have bunkers.
We don't mind raising the taxes to invest in this Golden Dome, something to protect us. That's how Esau plays. Esau plays on the minds of you people when you're ignorant.
I was just gonna say, part of ignorance is what all the elites that make the decision is they all just bought bunkers.
Right.
I mean, they don't care about this.
They don't give a fuck about you copper tops.
Yeah.
Useless eaters.
Yeah, they're part of the agenda to get rid of y'all.
And when you say they bought bunkers. They bought bunkers not in Babylon.
Yeah.
Right.
Their bunkers are, you know.
You would die if you go up under here in Babylon.
Bro,
You would die over here.
like the I think the elder said, you're gonna get baked.
Yeah.
It's like an oven. You like in an oven, waiting to get fucking baked. We talk about 1,000,000 degrees, and you think you safe in what they say 10 feet of cement,
Yeah.
20 feet of cement, 50. It could be 50 feet of cement. You think you think that heat ain't gonna get through there?
Man.
It's gonna cook your ass.
And you're gonna come up to a radiation. You're gonna feel land.
Even if you do get up on it.
Creatures gonna eat your ass up. Desert creatures.
Read that last part again.
God, and this is verse 8. They never jostle each other. Each moves in exactly the right position. They break.
And meaning like when they all get shot, because there's gonna be so many in
every direction.
coming from every direction. Like there was a Russian propagandist who speaks for the Kremlin, and he was talking shit about the U.S., France, Britain, and he was basically saying, you know, in a showdown, you know, if we was to really like, you know, shoot those arrows at each other, he said, how much land do you have that you can actually compromise?
Yeah.
He was calling a bluff, like how much land mass can you afford to compromise if we was to go toe to toe? Russia is big. We got some land that if y'all take it out, it's still gonna be more of us. But we're close. We got the technology, we can wipe all of Europe out. He was talking big shit, you know? But going back to the prophecy, when all those nukes get shut off, launched from those silos, the Most High is gonna have them in a formation to where none of them are gonna hit each other or collide with each other once they shoot across the sky.
Yeah.
They're gonna be brought right to their intended target.
Yeah, each missile has like a specific longitude and latitude that it's coordinates the water that it's set for, man. And Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna make sure that it hits with pinpoint accuracy.
Pinpoint.
It's a lot. You know, the brother showed me. He said it kind of passed, but bunkers they have where people you can rent out people's bunkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like the company Evos, you can rent out their bunkers to where you can have a really nice luxurious one, or you can have a little Motel 6 cheap.
Airbnb bumper.
Yeah, that's what it's pretty much is.
Backup plan for humanity. Secure your safety. Vehicles, underground shelters, survive virtually any catastrophe.
Showing you that the world is, it's like the energy of the world knows this shit's coming.
The batteries in there.
And the higher elite that you have connection to, the more you get tapped into the preparation of the things to come. But unless you have this, none of that shit's gonna work.
Man, this is continuing, man. Joel 2. This is verse 8. It says they never jostle each other. Each moves in exactly the right position. They break through defenses without missing a step.
Man, break through defenses without missing a step. So that means that they're gonna be able to go around your missile defense. And we gotta remember also they have sophisticated hypersonic abilities. You know, you might have a missile that can, you know, it'll be able to read that another missile is incoming, so it'll be shot towards that direction to intercept it. But the missile that they launched is sophisticated, so it'll know that, oh, there's an incoming interception missile coming, so let me go around it.
What they call countermeasures?
Yeah. So it'll right in a split second make a certain turn to where that missile defense can't intercept it, and it gets right through and it hits.
There's accounts where the chariots, so-called UFOs, are shutting off towers, and basically causing like an EMP to shut down, missile systems and stuff like that. There's been accounts like that. So Yahweh Shai and the angels gotta, deliver the elect, because hey, they might shut down do a whole EMP on America, man. shut down the whole Golden Dome, so it'd be susceptible to getting all the missiles.
Maybe it's this
You
one.
know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's more right here. This is continuing. This is verse 9.
Hey, so like real quick, when you look this up, I brought this out before. The terminology that they use in military, empty quiver is a military term referring to the seizure, theft, or loss of a functioning nuclear weapon. And they can have that happen in that day, where America can suffer a empty quiver, while he allowed these nations to empty their quiver. You know?
We know these quivers are silos.
Con. You know?
We always talk about that movie, Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow, yep.
That's when it's been taken and somebody else controls the nuclear.
Yep.
Let's see what this looks like.
Yeah, man. The Lord, and the Lord can do that.
15.
So now you're defenseless, thinking that you about to defend yourself, and then you think you about to go on the offense with your nuclear missile, but everybody just shot theirs on you.
Hurry up!
Yeah. Well, you only got an hour. It's gonna happen quick. It's gonna happen real quick. What you think you about to do in an hour? Where you finna go? You know? Especially if you live inland, if you live in like you're not living on the coast nowhere, you ain't got there's nowhere you can run.
Why would you even want to go out in the water, bro?
Bro, that's worse.
Yeah.
So it's like pick your poison.
Yeah.
Get drowned out by that 20,000 foot tsunami wave, or wait for Leviathan to swallow you up,
Yeah.
or you got a taste of that fire right in the land,
Boil the sea,
bro. Hey, what's second natural? There's water on one side and there's fire on the other.
Yeah, you better choice. You better walk. Hey, you better
The Lord
walk
gonna make that a
tightrope.
literal situation on that day.
Live by the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking from the things we're describing, you have more than that too. Yeah, from the things we're describing, Second Corinthians, the 5th chapter.
Therefore,
it's the
knowing
5th
the
chapter.
terror of the Lord.
Therefore, knowing the terror of the Lord.
Yep.
You should be persuaded to this thing.
Should
This
put
is-
fear in you.
Yeah, because there's no other options.
Yep.
What other option you got? You got this truth, or you got death by pain. You got it right.
Okay, this is verse 9. They swarm over the city and run along its walls.
They swarm over the city. Imagine that, man. It's a swarm of nuclear warheads coming for one area.
You see how to give you a quick analogy. You remember that movie? Was it Olympus? Was it the last one?
Has fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen, where they had those
London, Olympus, and-
smart drones. How they were just swarming to the target that was they put on. Is similar to that. You know, just like the brother was going into how the missiles, they have a certain coordinates. They're gonna just, you know, they can navigate through cities and until they hit their mark.
There was a movie that had one of let's say Tony Stark, one of the Marvel movies or something.
Yeah.
Where they had, I think he had to fly around and try to get around shit because it was following him.
Yeah.
Even in that Batman, Dark Knight Rises, they had the missiles that were low-level missiles, but the missiles that was following. So the technology's there. It's not unreasonable to believe that it can navigate and juke around certain missile defenses.
Yeah.
Scripture said it would.
It says they enter all the houses, climbing like thieves.
Meaning there's nothing that they can't get into, there's nothing that they can't overtake.
Through the windows. The earth quakes as they advance, and the heavens tremble. The sun and moon grow dark, and the stars no longer shine. It says the Lord is at the head of the column. He leads them with a shout. This is his mighty army, and they follow his orders. The day of Yahweh.
They follow his orders. The Most High is ultimately gonna give the command over those missiles, man. You know, You're gonna have the angels, they're gonna be delivering the elect, but you're gonna have angels that's gonna be operating on this technology to make it go the way it's supposed to go. All you, what was that, Jeremiah 50? All you that bend the bow, yeah.
Jeremiah 15:14. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh.
There it is.
That's, and because the Heavenly Father understands that this world has sinned against him, and particularly start with this place, they're going to make this world pop off where this place is surrounded and shot missiles on. He's got it set up to do. Look, how many thousands of years was this written before the algorithm of life and then came to what it's become now, to where this is beginning to come true? It manifested to come true, right? Yeah, that's what. I can't even think 5,000 years ago. Jeez. Yeah. That was it today.
Jeremiah 50:15. Shout against her around about. She has given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she has done. Do unto her.
Yep, fine.
Yep.
Is there more after that? If not, can you jump to verse 21?
Yeah, so all the ancient prophets, they wrote down the visions they had about this time that's coming up here in America, man. You know, about the famines, about the, you know, the siege, Jacob's trouble, you know, you Israelites, you know, Leviathan, you know, wild beasts, you know, tearing up people, robots, you know, and also the missiles, Yahushua coming back. You know, these are the prophecies.
The land against Merathim?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind.
Jeremiah 50:21. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod.
Teach that word right quick.
Yeah, kind. That word Merathim, when you go into the blue letter for it, it means double rebellion, man. Which is significant of America. You know? It's rebellious in every facet, man. You know?
It's not just unknowing, it's knowing and unknowing.
Yeah, kind.
Rebellious.
Just like that word Nimrod. Nimrod means rebellion. You know? So,
Waste and utterly destroy after them, says Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee.
there it is. Kind. That's the point. Now we're back into Joel 2.
And also get was that Isaiah 13 about how he's gonna stir up
He had it.
the Medes.
Yeah, we'll get some.
Because hey, think about, you know, right now Russia, they own some other timing right now. They don't want no ceasefire with Ukraine. You know, they done got North Korean troops involved. They don't want no peace with them.
I think Russia just shot off some missiles at Ukraine.
They just did. Fired off on them again.
Yeah.
And then you had the guy that I mentioned earlier, Vladimir. What was his name, man? I think his name is Vladimir Solotov or something like that. But he was basically he was going in on those Europeans that's calling for a ceasefire. He was like, I don't want no truce with you European pigs. That's what he said. You know, and he had a war of words for them. All right, matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, Trump
So-
is not the peacemaker, man. He think he's gonna, you know, get up and talk to these nations, trying to broker peace deals between these nations. No, the Heavenly Father has it in his mind to basically have these nations to go to war, World War III, man. All right.
Yeah. Here it is. It says Russian propagandist Vladimir Solovyov on his show said that the European pigs and the Kokolovs, a pejorative for Ukrainians, want a ceasefire while he wants them dead. He added that we are different and that all they deserve from Russia is revenge. Another of Solovyov's outbursts was highlighted by the Russian Media Monitor Project. He says, I have nothing to discuss with those European pigs.
And this dude is he's like one of the officials, or he's like right under Putin.
He's
general.
I think he deals with their media.
But what this shows you is Putin ain't the only one with that same mindset.
Yeah.
So people are thinking, oh, we need to get rid of Putin. Yeah, you get rid of Putin. It's going to be someone that's going to come in his stead that's going to be on the same time as him. So it's like, it ain't no way out of this shit that Babylon and the NATO and the EU then got themselves into.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't gonna escape. Oh, you thought you could get rid of Kim Jong-un. It's gonna be another someone that's gonna come in his stead that's gonna be just as fucking, you know, crazy, or what you consider crazy, but you know, about coming against Babylon.
Yeah.
You know.
So basically, who I'm reading about, he's a state-funded publicist for Russia.
That's the point. Brother, if I can make the point the brothers have made to me right now, he was saying Russia owns the media over there like America, like the small hats run the media over here.
Exactly.
The difference is though that the small hats deceive the public over here to make it seem like it's all good. Over there, they're not. They're indoctrinating them with the same type of Russian mind, with the understanding of what's happening in the world, getting them on to be proud Russians.
And they both are biased on both sides.
Exactly.
It says
one is deceiving, one's not though.
Yep. It says Solovyov further declared that Europe does not deserve Russian love, but only contempt and hatred. We do not need your love, we need your fear. You should.
Sonny from Bronx tip. Fear lasts longer than love. I remember that, right?
Yep. He said, you should wake up at night in a cold sweat and look at the sky to see if Russian missiles are flying to burn down Sodom and Gomorrah once and for all. He concluded angrily. It's on YouTube, by the way. Him actually saying these things is on YouTube.
Revelation.
That's cold, bro.
And just think though, because they're going to be used to turn Babylon into
they got the prophecy spirit on
ancient Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know, Sodom and Egypt. They ready to fulfill that role.
Yeah.
Hey, because they can. Hey, as reasonable people, they know that this shit has to happen.
God.
There's no way around. If they ever want peace, they gotta get rid of these.
Right.
The Amalek, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, he's talking big shit, and he ain't being censored by the Russian government. So that means that the Russian government, they all feel that way. So that's part of the Lord stirring up the Medes, man. Yep. Isaiah 13, Jeremiah 51, and all those different chapters going into that. You know. Like I think that series that I be putting up, Countdown to the Third Wall, I think I'm like at the 38th part, and it's still more material right now, because every day is something new, everything new, everything you know.
All moving toward
you
know what to be impressed.
Yeah.
Conflict, you know, turning this
nuclear global conflict.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why the scriptures tell us to measure out the times diligently in itself. Because it's you if you're not paying attention and you're not measuring the times, a lot of shit is gonna happen, and it's just you're gonna miss out. You know, you're gonna miss out, man. You're not gonna be able to catch everything. And that's why it's important to, as a watchman, you're supposed to assume the position of being on that watchtower. That way you can catch everything that you see in the distance.
So if it's like, okay, well, if I see that this is gonna pop off and it's looking like no longer than a year or two, I'm not gonna opt for my settlement to pay me out, you know, over the rest of my life, over the next 20 years. What the fuck I'm gonna do that for?
Get my pension.
Yeah, what am I gonna do that for? Why would I want to invest in 401k when I ain't gonna see it, you know? I'm gonna start making decisions. You're gonna start making and moving differently. I'll give me my extra little money on my check, man. I don't want none of that. He's giving it back to you for it. It's all about to go down. Get 100 grand in, motherfucker, economy collapse. What the? I'd be mad I left that money on the table. but just using that as an example of how the mind state of how you move should begin to change.
Yeah, you're not thinking future. I'm
Just
not thinking about
in this
retirement and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We thinking like shit. Any minute, any second, any day, this world that we currently live in is gonna be flipped upside down. And like we say, any second, any day, because an EMP attack, wake up tomorrow in the financial collapse.
Yep. How am I gonna sustain myself for those things happening? That's immediate to me. I ain't worried about if I gotta go to work on Monday as much as I'm worried about whenever work shuts off. Do I have enough to sustain me to the next stage, or when this war in heaven kicks off, to the chance come?
And one thing that everyone's affected by is the money system, the economy. That affects everything and everyone. You can't sit back and say, well, it don't affect me. No, nigga, you got a job, you got to work, you got mortgage, you got to eat, you got gas, you got all these things that are dependent on this money system. So of course it's going to affect you, But the difference between us and them is we're prepared, and not carnally by let's hoard up food and hoard up guns and let's take a combat classes. No, we're prepared spiritually. All right, building up faith, building up being charitable.
Now I'm gonna double down on something before you make your statement, brother. I'll reread what you got. Bro. You absolutely, it's okay if you want to take a combat class to know how to handle it. It's gonna be chaos out here. It's okay if you have a few goods, or canned goods, or something kind of stocked up, a little water or whatever. But understand that none of that can be taken from you. May not even get a sip of that. You may have 15 gallons of water to sustain you, and you may not get a sip of that.
You may have a reserve of water.
Reservoir hookup that you may never get a sip of water from. So knowing that these things can't save you.
Second Ezra 14 and 13 in the GMT. It says, so set your house in order and warn your people, comfort those who are humble and teach those who are wise. Then say goodbye to this mortal life. Put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens, and lay aside your weak human nature.
Hold that. Grab Micah 2. That's gonna land right with it. You got it.
Put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly.
Exactly.
You have seen.
The fall of E, bro. The fall of Edom, bro.
Right on the stage. You came into that thing, boom, right in this thing. He through, man.
Reading again, verse 15, it says, put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. You have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen.
There it is. Let it read that, so don't go away from it. Read one more time. Let it really get into it. Yep.
This is Micah 2 and verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this place is not your rest.
Telling you to spiritually get your house in order to depart spiritually. Don't be so connected. Like 401k is connecting to this life. Concerned about how much money you got in the bank is connecting to this life. Be ready to move when the next stage happens. Okay, do I have the wisdom and do I have the spirit to be able to call on Yahweh Shemel Shai? Do I have, something that'll keep me and my family held up till a raven or something comes and, do my belief in that possibly happening, is it real? Yeah. How much do I really believe that? Go ahead, bro. Because did you read it all?
Oh, no. I'm gonna start from the top.
Yep.
It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction.
It is. Because if you are attached to it and the ship is going down, you're going to hold it down till it's underwater, you're going to drown with it. So that's what he's saying, to get your affairs in order. Hey, have that raft. This ain't a second plan. The second plan ain't a second plan. The first plan is that you already had a raft ready for when the Titanic sank. that's what this belief is. You already got an escape ready for when this happens. That I'm already not gonna enjoy the party in the middle of the boat. I'm already on the edge of the boat by the life preservers and the what's some other little boats, rescue boats or whatever.
Life rafts.
Yeah, I'm already living. I'm missing out on the good life to live on the edge, ready for when this thing go down. Cause I know it's going down.
Yep.
You got
it's not your physical, it's your mind state.
Exactly.
You know.
Better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting. You got it.
It's like in Ezra 16 and 40. Listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When the disasters come, you must live as people whose home is not in this world.
Pilgrims on earth, right?
Yep. Merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell.
Yep.
They must be ready to run for their lives.
I'm not about to spend my life savings to get one more re-up that I can make the big money, right? You know, I'm gonna invest one more time and then I'm gonna win. No, you're not gonna win. You're just gonna continue to lose if you continue to attach to this place. You gotta do enough to sustain yourself till it actually happens. But don't go all in. Now is not the time to go all in, man, to this place. You go all in this truth, and it's gonna guide you how much to put into this world.
It says, merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy.
There's a thing called a bug out bag. What's in the bug out bag? Your TV ain't going in your bug out bag. Your fucking sofa, your favorite chair ain't going in your bug out. Your favorite silverware and dishes ain't going in the bug out bag.
Nothing like material. You better just.
Your favorite pants and shoes ain't going in your bug out bag. Now the ones that's gonna sustain you that through any weather, through any situation, it'll be on your feet and ready to go. Your favorite, you know, the most useful jacket ain't the most comfortable, best looking. Okay, that's the difference in mentality. You know, that you're prepared to, oh, my shoes is by the door, the bag is ready, I got the things, I got my coins, I got my weapons or whatever, I got my sword, the real weapons, I got that in there, you know? And more so, I'm armed in here with all the armor and the weapons. Y'all got it.
It says, farmers should not expect, it's like whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Farmers should not expect to harvest their crops or pick their grapes. Those who marry must not expect to have children, and those who don't marry must live as if they had been widowed.
Yep.
Anything that is done will be useless.
Hey, Salaki, brother, Bushwick. You remember Bushwick?
Yeah.
They coming out the subway holding hands and having pow, 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 shooting and destruction and shit going on. They're like, oh my God, what's going on?
Damn,
he takes 5
busted
steps.
open.
He takes 5 steps, and boom,
See
she's
all that
out.
blood?
I mean, he's out. He beat. We didn't laugh loud, but
No, we
damn,
did.
had to
He
laugh.
fell out.
But the scene in that movie Bushwick, they coming up all happy and together, and in the next 15 seconds of the movie, the man was dead.
Yep.
You got to be prepared that people could be your loved ones can be taken from you like that, whether they're taken to a concentration camp or taken to another life, or out of this world,
And
back
if
to the
they-
spirit world.
It's like, and if they're taken, you have to be mentally ready to move on.
Yep.
You can't sit there and hold them, and you got to move on. You know, you have to, and that's the mentality that you have to have. You know, in this Jacob's trouble, in these last days.
Yep.
You know, you got to leave shit. They say leave the world behind. You got to leave a lot of people behind. You leave a lot of shit behind when you come into this truth.
And see, and that's why
Yep.
it's gonna be so raw, because you're gonna be in a state of survival. These women, the attitude that you see our women hold today, it's gonna be non-existent. It's gonna be completely erased. They're gonna be that much more humble in these conditions.
It's gonna be like the women on Book of Eli.
Yeah, they're gonna be very vulnerable. All right, that's why they're gonna have no choice, but to dealing with Isaiah 4:1.
Yep.
They're gonna be so humble because of what's going on. They're gonna be in desperate need of protection.
I want to ask a quick question for you brothers. Anybody can answer whatever. But what's going to be the most valuable reason why that you're going to be able to have for these women? That they're going to want to join unto you. What's going to be the thing? We talk about Isaiah 4, but it's something else. It's almost
Stability, the mental calmness,
you're the closest so far. What I'm looking for, the guidance. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because we ain't gonna, I ain't about to be 20 women. I'm just hypothetical, 4, 5, 7 women for the scripture's sake, and you up there fighting. Nah, man, I'm about to fight a wild pack of dogs for all of us. Man, somebody get that dog off the side, man. Somebody, the guidance of how to, y'all go up there and go hide while I fight these guys. Something, but your ability to think and reason and use wisdom is gonna be the most valuable thing we know.
Yeah, example of that. When Jacob had his wives and his sons when they were young, and he was about to come out and meet Esau, he knew, just using, he applied wisdom in that moment, and he instructed them, all right, let's split up. Y'all get behind me, y'all get back here, and then we're gonna put, some more of y'all back here with the cattle, and I'm gonna come forward with the gifts, and this is how we're gonna do it. So automatically, it was the man that had to make the decision and send instructions so that everything would go smooth. These women, they're not capable of doing it. Acting off of when a situation happens or a moment, they're not cool, calm, and collected, or rational enough to be able to make a decision that's gonna protect everybody.
That's true.
It's gonna be based on the man.
You leave these women out here today to figure out they gonna pull their titties out. Just take me. And nobody gonna want
crazy
that.
Shit, bro.
And not these other men gonna see who's me. They thinking food. They thinking other things. They ain't thinking about it like that.
And what was that other Purge movie? You had the 2 women that was in Anarchy.
Yeah. The daughter and the mother and the daughter.
Yeah. They would have got done up if they didn't if they wasn't with old boy, man.
Hey, they would have lost with the dude with the doorbuster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Forget the troop that came in the door.
The nigga with the shotgun.
Yeah. They was done with him.
Yep. So yeah, they're gonna be in need of that guidance for sure.
You're gonna be the one. As a matter of fact, you read it real fast. You have the scripture. Isaiah 33. Yep. So Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength and salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
That's gonna be the difference. Being able to have that's what with your higher self. Everybody should wander to and fro. Not you. We're gonna have our spiritual GPS on how to move. Okay? You can go back.
Yeah, back in 2nd Ezra 16 and 45, it says anything that is done will be useless. Right?
Yeah.
Your college degree, that shit's gonna be useless. Your doctorates, your PhD, that's gonna be useless. Your stockpile of gold. Just in general.
It's kind of useless.
It's gonna be useless.
Because it's only those degrees and those certain certificates are only good for whatever your profession is.
Right.
That doesn't give you wisdom outside of that specific. This gives you a broad aspect of wisdom all over. How to live, how to treat your fellow brother, Israelite brother, how to eat proper.
I was gonna say somebody have a PhD in what's that? Not physiology. What's that what's the degree when you know how to health and how you know how to prepare food for health? I can't think what Nutritionist. You can have that, but don't know how to dress a wound. Right. What good is that shit to you? Right. But don't know how to.
Don't even know how to do basic CPR.
Yeah, so what good will that do you?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Anything that is done will be useless. I keep stopping there because it's like, you know what I mean? Like that should let you know. That should tell you right there, man. Don't get all invested into this life, man.
What them Rams gonna do for you? What that credit card gonna do?
Nothing.
What that 700
Right.
credit score gonna do?
Nothing outside of faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is gonna work.
Yep.
Nothing else is gonna work, man.
And he's gonna throw at you that he has a plan for all those things to still matter and work.
Yeah.
But it won't.
Right.
You got it?
It says, foreigners will harvest the crops, siege the wealth, tear down the houses, and carry off children as slaves.
Hey, martial law
Kidnapping.
troops.
Yep.
Martial law troops. You know, they're gonna be a part of that beast system. I don't know what their name's gonna be called in the purge. It's like what it said. What was they calling it?
Someone in the Purge series?
Yeah. No, it's like the founding fathers.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they
the
had
founding
like
fathers.
Yeah, the founding fathers.
NFFT or something.
Yeah,
Founding
yeah.
fathers.
It was like the elite.
They had the troops under that banner.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, it might be something like that, man.
They were like the mercenaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It says, anyone who has children will be bringing them up to be slaves or to die of starvation. Anyone who makes money will do so only to see it violently taken away. Yeah.
You're a target out here, man. If you got means, nigga like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, you
He's gonna
flash.
go right to this house.
Yeah, anybody flashing that day, you food out there, man.
Yep.
You done.
If you flashing this time, niggas don't remember your
They gonna,
address.
yeah, everybody
Show
know.
up.
Especially Jake, because Jake, they feel like they gotta wear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
When Jake got something, they gotta you know, they gotta show it off.
They gotta let the world know.
Yeah.
I got to do this. I got to do that. And,
Right.
and they don't necessarily, they don't do it in person. They do it through social media.
Huh.
They'll post it on social media so niggas know. Oh,
Just
it's,
remember.
you
That's
know,
how niggas get robbed.
Yep.
right. You know, during you know what's gonna happen
location on and shit.
when shit hit the fan. It's right at that point before they shut down the internet. It's gonna be a nigga in there posting like, I got everything. I got the water.
look at
I got the canned goods. We prepared over here.
Nigga talking over here, open up in the refrigerator.
Yeah, full. Got water. Niggas is speaking like, okay.
Bro, two rappers got killed because they was doing that dumb shit. You showing where you at and what you got on social media. That's giving the niggas that's coming for you. Okay, yeah, this nigga showing his. Oh, okay. Yeah, put that in the GPS real quick.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. A P&B Rock.
Oh yeah.
And nigga in Roscoe's with the chains on.
Like
And
a 200,000, 300,000
worth of jewelry.
In the hood.
You fool. What are you doing?
They didn't give it up.
And you gotta worry about these other nations too.
Yeah.
Right. Roscoe. Oh, at least it's that.
You know, these other nations, they probably got computer whizzes to fucking, you know, drop your location without you even showing your location.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. It says the more possessions people gather, the more they spend on their cities and houses, the more attention they give to their personal appearance.
Here it is. Both them rappers.
Yep. The more angry the Lord will become with them because of their sin. That's the egg. So that's just, you know, putting you in the right perspective of the mindset that you gotta have. You know? It seems like, you know, because we bring this out all the time. So y'all already know, but it's, you know, we're getting closer to that time, but you still see this the mind state of our people. You know? That's why the Lord said, hey, you don't want that day to overtake you as in a day of the thief. You know? It's gonna catch our people while they're not paying attention. Yeah, you can get that.
In Matthew 6:25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment?
Yeah. And that's all just part of the anxieties or the cares of this mortal life, which the scripture said in the second address to, you know, put that away. Don't worry about that. The Lord, man, He brought us through the wilderness all them years. Where there's no water, you know. There's nothing in the desert. It's just you surrounded by mountains and dirt and rocks, tumbleweeds, but yet the Lord preserved us in that wilderness
40 years.
for 40 years, man.
He said our shoes didn't get jacked up. Our clothes wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, they get jacked up.
We still have fresh water,
Lord brought manna from the heavens.
manna, quail. Them niggas got greedy.
Jake, man.
They lost it when that quail came.
No, they didn't even cook the quail. They were just eating the shit.
They were just eating it, just tearing it up.
Like fucking beast.
Yep.
That's what made the Lord pissed off, man.
Gluttonous.
They probably had all the flesh stuck between their teeth. They didn't have flossers back then. You know, what could they have been using back then as a to floss? They get that a little piece of, you know, maybe a little piece of branch from a leaf.
Yeah.
You know?
Or they can even get like the sharp part of the chicken bone.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if you at the dinner, you see somebody at the dinner table eating like a fucking maniac, you like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, man? This nigga gotta be put down. He's fucking out.
Motherfucker only took one breath.
No decorum whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know?
And you got families like that, they always sit up there and eat. They don't even take a breath, bro.
Natty Professor.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They up there inhaling all that food.
Yeah,
But see, we in Babylon. Babylon is supposed to be about luxury. Isaiah 47.